Hi viewers, thanks for joining me. One of my sources just sent me a hot tip. She did it again. IMF chief Christine Lagarde isn't happy about US President Donald Trump's trade wars with China. Lagarde wore her trademarked scarves and suits to high-profile TV shows and slammed Mr. Trump's protectionism. She said the trade wars could shock the Asian markets and crush the ones which have economic or financial problems. It's the second time she has directly criticized the American president. Brave of Lagarde, considering the United States controls 17% of the IMF's budget and voting rights. A man like Donald Trump doesn't like being pushed around, right? Could she be the next woman to lose her chair after Janet Yellen was deposed at the Federal Reserve when Trump chose a man? When you think about it, so much of geopolitics is about character and human nature. Who is Lagarde and why is she so influential? Christine Lagarde is a fashion icon in the business world. She's always elegantly dressed and comes from a family of French aristocrats. She's a twice-divorced lawyer and one of the most powerful women in the world because she runs the International Monetary Fund. Created in 1945, the IMF is a group of 189 countries working to encourage global monetary cooperation and financial stability. The IMF aims to reduce poverty. The organization is in favor of international trade. Well, international trade is what Donald Trump has declared war on, so it's obvious Lagarde and Trump won't see eye to eye. She's a no-nonsense, strong, independent woman, and he's, well, Donald Trump. Since he took office, Trump has started trade wars with China, India, the EU, Mexico, and even Canada. Emerging markets are suffering the effect of a bullish US economy, which is why Lagarde is so concerned about international stability. Rumor is American companies are losing money because of the trade wars. The tariffs between China and the US are pressuring profits. Trump offered tax breaks for companies, and that was good for American businesses and for Wall Street. But many business associations are unhappy about the sharp increase in import taxes. The biggest news is that 6 influential business organizations are fighting them. They formed a new super lobby called Americans for Free Trade. The trade movement was set up just before midterm elections to put maximum pressure on Trump. If the movement fails, tariffs are set for another $200 billion worth of Chinese goods imported to America. The battle between protectionism and free trade is on. It's so exciting. Like high-stakes poker game, it comes down to who has deeper pockets. There's talk about possible bankruptcies. The US government has to spend billions of dollars in aid to business groups who lost money because of high import taxes. In the rest of the world, the IMF may have to bail out any emerging economy which runs into trouble. Already there's a talk about Turkey getting a bailout. Argentina has already asked for $50 billion in loans. I wonder who will win the battle, Christine Lagarde and free trade or Donald Trump and protectionism? Will it be America first, China last? China is still growing but at a slower pace. Tariffs on its exports onto the US could slow its growth even further. Within a few years, it could even enter a recession. Then it would be the poor relative in the global economy. Just a few years ago, it was on track to be the world's fastest growing economy. India now holds that position. What do you think? We'll be bringing you all the latest in the next episode of Something Like Olivia. That's all we have time for. Send me your feedback and market gossip tips. I might share it on our next show. Thanks for joining me.